press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Hello my dear students, today I am going to start with the summary of the chapter The Living Organisms and Their Surroundings. First of all, we know about the organisms. Organisms are nothing but all the living organisms like plants and animals, we call it as an organisms. And one more term comes under this heading organisms. Organisms in which microorganisms also there, and microorganisms are nothing but those organisms which can't see through our naked eyes, but it can see only under the microscope, and such organisms are called as microorganisms. Example for the microorganisms are bacteria, fungi, viruses, etc. These are few examples of the organisms. See, in this chapter, all the places having different climatic conditions and different places will be there, and these places, some of these places includes the hot climatic condition, and some of the places having the cold and too cold and humid and dry environment will be present. And in these places organisms will live and survive, and they will adapt some special features, and in various different kinds will organisms will be present. And these organisms, which may include the camel, yak, like the different organisms will be present. From the above information, one conclusion we can derive from these observations, that all the living organisms present in everywhere in the nature, it is present everywhere. And there are different types of organisms we can find in the nature, and some of them are the cactus, camel, yak, and tortoise, like different types of pine tree, and some other examples will be there, where we can see these organisms in our surrounding. See, they will adapt a particular climatic condition and cope up with this environment, and such a dry and cold condition they will cope up. And next we shall move on to the organisms. See, organisms, as I told you, the plants as well as the animals which live in the environment are called as organisms, and it may include some microorganisms also, but it can't be seen through our naked eyes. We can see under the microscope only, and such a type of organisms are called as microorganisms, and it may include some organisms. Next we shall move on to the biotic components. See, biotic components, as the name only indicates, the living components, and usually the living components which may include the bacteria, fungi, animals, and different types of plants. All the living organisms comes under this heading biotic components, and in which first one is the producer. See, producer are those organisms, the producers are nothing but green plants. Green plants is also called as producer because it will produce the food. During the process of photosynthesis, it will take out the water and also the carbon dioxide, a dangerous or the poisonous gas which are present in the atmosphere. It will take out, and with the presence of sunlight as well as the chlorophyll pigment, the plants will produce the starch, and also the oxygen is released to the atmosphere, and so that it is called as producer because it will produce the starch and also it will release the oxygen. See, the biotic factor includes the fungi, animals, plants, and different types of bacteria, virus, etc. See, in which biotic components is classified into producer and a consumer. Consumer are those animals which feed on the plant, and they are dependent on the plant. And this producer and this consumer is classified into three different types. See, herbivore, carnivore, as well as the omnivore. In which first one is the herbivore. Those animals which feed on the plants and the plant product are called as herbivore animal. Example for the herbivore animals are elephant, goat, sheep, and deer, cow, etc. These are the examples of the herbivore animal. These animals which feed on the plants as well as the plant product, and such a type of animals are called as herbivore animal. Next one is the carnivore animal. See, carnivore animal usually it feeds on other animals, and such a type of animals are called as carnivore animal. And example for the carnivore animals are the lion, tiger, even the shark, crocodile. These are the example for the carnivore animal, which depends on the herbivore animal. See, next one is the omnivore animal. Omnivore animal, these feeds on both the plants as well as the animal product, and which may include the cat, crow, and even the human beings. Both human beings will eat the food items like plants as well as the non-veg items. See, even the beer also. These are the example for the omnivore animal. Next one is the scavenger. See, beside these producer and the consumers, scavengers is one more category. And in this scavenger, the animals which feed on the dead animals are called as scavengers. Example is the vulture and dog, hyena. These are the examples where we can see these animals will feed on the dead animals. And these may include this category. Next one is the decomposers. See, decomposers are those microorganisms which feed on the both dead plants and as well as the animals. And such a type of animals or the organisms are called as decomposers. Example for the decomposers are bacteria and the fungi. And even the mushroom also a type of a fungi which feeds on the dead and decay organic matter, and it will simplified or converted into the simple substance, and again these simple substance will convert it into the manure. In the form of manure it will convert it, and such a type of organisms are called as decomposers. See, in the decomposers the microorganisms usually present, and see, this is all about the decomposers. Next we shall move on to the abiotic factor or the components. All the non-living things or the non-living components of the habitat like rock, soil, light, these may categorized into the abiotic components. And see, air is one of the most important material which is found in the nature. See, even these are the non-living organisms, but it is play a vital role in the environment. See, air will produce or the released to the atmosphere by the plants. During the process of photosynthesis, all the plants will release the oxygen to the atmosphere, and thereby all the living organisms utilize these amount of oxygen for respiration process, and thereby we can say that even the non-living things also present in the nature play a vital role. And next one is the temperature, light. See, temperature also play an important role. If moderate temperature is there, means we can survive. If too cold or too hot temperature is there, means we can suffer a lot. And like that, light. See, light also play an important role, and without the light the photosynthesis will not take place in the plants. And not only in the plants it is very useful, but even the animals and human beings also very important light. See, at the presence of light, many animals move from one place to another place in search of food and many other purposes. And like that, next one is the water. Water also play an important role in the nature. See, water, with the help of water is very essential for drinking purpose, for washing purpose, and many other activities we can done with the help of water. And next one is the humidity, and this may includes the humidity, pH in the temperature. And next one is the mineral. Usually the minerals are present in the soil, and so the soil acts as a abiotic component which is very essential for growth as well as the development of the plant, because the soil contains various types of different minerals, and these minerals play an important role to absorb the various mineral through the roots and circulate through the plant body. Like that, soil also play an important role in the environment. Like that, these are the few examples of the abiotic components. Next we shall move on to the abiotic components. How these abiotic factors or components which play an important role in the environment, in which wind is there, sunlight, soil, temperature, atmosphere, water. See, already I told about the sunlight and soil, temperature also I told, and atmosphere. See, atmosphere play an important role in the environment. See, without the atmosphere, there is a no seasons and this different types of climatic conditions will not there, and water is also play an important role, and proper amount of wind and wind is very important, humid condition which play an important role in the atmosphere, and even these factors will play a vital role in the environment. So these are the abiotic factors. Next, we shall move on to the habitat. See, habitat is nothing but the place where the living organisms like plant as well as the animals live are called as habitat. Habitat which may includes the different types of habitat, either it may be grassland, forest, and even the tropical rainforest, mountains, and these are the different types of habitat which we seen. See, habitat which may includes the different categories, in which first one is the aquatic habitat, next one is the terrestrial habitat. See, aquatic habitat are those, and again categorized into two types. One is the freshwater habitat, another one is the marine water habitat. See, the freshwater habitat is nothing but the sweet water. See, it is not like a sugar water, somewhat we can potable or drinkable water, we call it as a freshwater habitat. See, in which pond, rivers and lakes and streams which may categorized in the heading fresh water. And next one is the marine water. See, marine water or the marine habitat which may includes the sea, ocean, and the estuaries are the examples, and these are the different types of saline water. Saline is nothing but the salt water. Usually the sea water is salt in nature, and these are present. And terrestrial habitat which may include the desert, grassland is nothing but the forest, and forest and mountains, these are the terrestrial habitat. Next, we shall move on to the features of different habitat, in which aquatic habitats are there. Aquatic habitat are those habitat where the plants as well as the animals float in the water or live in the water are called as aquatic habitat, which may categorized into floating habitat and fixed and submerged. See, floating is nothing but some of the plants which float in the water, and their roots are very poor, and it is always flow in the water. And example for the floating habitat or the floating aquatic habitats are lotus and the water lily. These are the example of the floating habitat. Next one is the fixed habitat. See, fixed habitat where all the plants body which fixes into the water, and usually these plants are found in the deep sea water, and see, whole the body parts of the plant will present inside the water, like a root, stem, leaf, and flower also, even the flower also present in the deep sea water. And see, these are the example. And next one is the fixed, next one is the submerged. See, in which submerged is the Vallisneria, and fixed is the lotus plant, and duckweed always it will float in the water, and these are the example for the floating, fixed, and submerged habitat, which comes under the heading of aquatic habitat. Next, we shall move on to the aquatic habitat. See, in this slide you can see the different habitat float in the water, even the animals also and living things like plants also present, and these may different types of animals, living organisms present in this habitat. Next one is the terrestrial habitat. See, terrestrial habitat are those habitat the animals which are present on the land are called as terrestrial habitat, which may include the zebra, lion, and deer, etc. Some animals which are present in the terrestrial habitat. Even when we see outside our home, we can see the different animals which are present outside the home, like dog, cat, etc. See, these may include the terrestrial habitat, in which desert habitat, mountain habitat, and the grassland habitat. See, desert habitat which having the adaptation of the these animals which are found in the desert region having special adaptation, And those adaptation, in which first one is the camel. See, camel is usually present in the desert region, and its body is modified into special features like long legs are present to stay away from the intense heat of the desert, and like the desert camel, desert snake and desert rat will be present. And see, the desert rat which is having the small legs, and usually to stay away from the intense heat of the desert, it will always stay in the burrows, and during the night time it will come to outside to when there is a cooled environment will be present. And like that, not only the animals, even the plants also present in desert region, like the cactus. See, usually you have seen the cactus, the leafy like structure what you seen is nothing but the stem. See, stem is modified into leaf like structure due to the less amount of water in those region. These structure will be modified into stem. And what you seen, the thorn and the spines in the cactus is nothing but the leaf. Leaf is modified into spines. See, due to the less amount of water present in those regions, the structure will be modified into different types, and thereby to reduce the water loss, the leaf will becomes into the spines. And see, transpiration will reduce in those region, and especially the cactus plants having the transpiration very less in those region. And next one is the mountain region. See, mountain region usually very climatic condition, very cold, and thereby some of the animals which adapt to in those condition are those places which having the special features, like they have the padded feet to stay away from the cold, very cold region, to stay away from those cold region. These animals having the special padded feet, and inside the body of an organisms which having the fat layer, so that it will always keep the animals warm. And due to the lack of food in the winter season, it will make use of the energy, and these fat layer which helps to animals to get energy from the fat layer. And see, these are the special features of the mountain region where the animals found. And not only these tiger, and even the polar bear. See, polar bear usually having the white thick fur will be present, so that it will merge into the surrounding. And usually the polar bear also present, polar bear, the leg of the polar bear having the padded feet, so that it will easily walk in the cold region. And inside the body of a polar bear having the fat layer, and this fat layer which keeps the polar bear always warm. And when the winter season comes, there is a scarcity of the food will be takes place, and so that this fat layer will help the polar bear to get energy from this fat layer. And see, there are the special adaptation which is found in such a region. And next one is the grassland. See, grassland is nothing but the forest area. The land which is dominated by the grass and some vegetations are present are called as grassland. Usually the grassland, the animals will be present in such a area having some modified structure. See, the body of an organism is having light brown color, so that it will hide in these region. See, example for those example for those animals are the lion as well as the deer. See, lion is a very strongest animal, and it will hunt the animal and even kill the animals. And the eyes of the lion is the front side. Usually the eyes are present in the front of the face, and so that it will locate the prey in a proper direction. And the body color of the lion is having the light brown in color, and it will walk very fast, and these are the features of the lion. Next one is the deer. See, deer is also a light brown in color as you observe in this picture. And see, these deer having the long ears and pointed ears are present, and so that it will hear the highest sound of the predators, and it will walk compared to the lion. It is very fast and quick movement will be present. And see, usually here in this grassland there are two terms that comes under this heading, that is predator as well as the prey. See, predators are nothing but those animals which harm the other animals are called as predator, and prey is nothing but those animals which is haunted by the animal. Predator harmed by the animal are called as prey. See, predator is nothing but those animals which is haunted by other animal, which haunts by other animals are called as predators, and prey is nothing but those animals which can haunted by other animals. Haunts by other animal like predator are called as prey. See, predator is nothing but the lion, and prey is example is the deer. See, which the predator will be kill called as prey, and those animals which are killing the other animals are called the predator. Next, we shall move on to the living beings and their characteristics. See, in the preceding sections, we already learnt about the term. We differentiate between the living things as well as the non-living things. There are some certain characteristic features will be present so that we can easily distinguish from the living things to the non-living things. And here we learnt about some of the characteristics which we can identify the living things as well as the non-living things. So, in which first one is the living things need food. As we all know that all living organisms require the food, and food acts as a fuel for all living organisms. For example, if we run the vehicle, it will run with the help of fuel, and like that in our body also, for doing many activities we can need the energy, and this energy we will get from the food, and like that we can say that living things require the food. And here there are some examples will be present. See, man, dog, and even the plants also require the energy. See, how do the plants get the energy? See, from the root, and usually the soil which contains the minerals and nutrient, it will absorb the root, and thereby it will circulate throughout the plant body, and like that even the plants also require the energy, and it is one of the living things. And see, different types of organisms will be present where it will require these, the food acts as a fuel for these organisms or the living organisms. Next, we shall move on to the living beings grow. As we all know that a baby grows into an adult, we can say that growth and development will be takes place, and usually all the living beings will grow. For example, see, hens lays eggs, and after that it will hatches, and again the chick will be comes from the egg, and like that the butterfly, see, always the butterfly lays egg onto the leaf of the some plant, and thereby there is a new growth of the baby butterfly will be seen, and like that it is one of the important characteristic feature of the living things, where we can say that living things grow and change throughout their life. Always we are growing and always we are changing day to day. See, for example, even the nails also grow. It is one of the characteristic feature of the living beings, and our height also grow simultaneously. And these are the characteristic feature of the living things. Next, we shall move on to the living things respire. As we all know that all the living things will respire, and when we heard about the term respiration, there are some organisms which is having the different respiratory organs. For example, in human beings, lungs will be present, and even the earthworm having the skin. From the skin it will respire, and fishes will respire through the gills, and like that spiracles are present in the caterpillar, and lungs will be present in the hen, and buck lung will be present in the spider, and sponges. See, so sponges are those organisms which are present in the water, and these organisms which respire through these pores, and from these pores exchange of gases will be takes place, and thereby it is one of the important characteristic feature of the living things or the living organisms. Like living organisms respire, we inhale the oxygen and exhale the carbon dioxide from our body, and there in turn these carbon dioxide will be utilized by the plants and for making the food process, that is photosynthesis. And see, oxygen we will utilize, not only the human beings, all the animals will utilize the amount of oxygen, and thereby respiration is one of the energy giving, we get the energy from the food, it is one of the energy giving process, and this is all about the respiration. See the diagram which shows that the plants release the oxygen to the atmosphere, and thereby all the living organisms will inhale this amount of oxygen which is released to the atmosphere, and in turn the carbon dioxide we will give to the plants so that it will utilize for the process of photosynthesis, and like that animals also utilize the amount of oxygen. So this is all about the characteristic feature of the living beings, like it will respire. Next one is the living beings show response to stimuli. See, response is nothing but the change in the environment, we call it as a response, and stimuli, see, change in the environment of an organism is called as stimuli, and response is nothing but the reaction of the stimuli is called reaction of the organisms to the stimuli is called as a response. See, understood the difference between stimuli and the response? Response is nothing but the action when the action of an organisms according to the stimuli, and stimuli is nothing but the change in the environment, we call it as a stimuli. See, we all know that we will respond to the stimuli. See, when we strike out to the hard object to our hand, we can just, even we can't think, we remove our hand, like that it is nothing but the response, we give response to the stimuli. And even there are some plants will be present which responds to the stimuli, like sunflower. See, usually sunflower will rotate the whole plant according to the sun. If wherever the sun is present, the flower will be rotate its flower, and like that this is one of the example. And beside this, some of the organisms or some of the plants which blooms at the sunrise, and it will fold its petals during the sunset, and see, these are the examples. And next one is the, see, a response to stimuli. When we touch the hard object, we even can't think over, and we just remove our hand. See, this is the response to the stimuli. And one of the example is the touch me not plant, call it as a mimosa. See, mimosa plants, when we touch into this plant, the leaves of these touch me not plants will folded, or it will close its leaves. After some times it will again reopen, and this is how we can say that some of the organisms, see, many organisms will respond to the stimuli. See, for example, you observe in our dog, its favorite food, if you keep in front of the dog, it will get, mouth will get watered, and it will rotate its tail, and like that we can say that it responds to the stimuli. These are the examples. Next we shall move on to the living beings excrete. Excrete is nothing but the process of getting rid of the waste. See, the process of getting rid means remove the waste from our body, we call it as a excrete. See, excretion usually takes place in our body, and through the sweat we remove the waste, and through the urine and through the urea also we remove the waste. And all living organisms, this excretion will be very much essential and takes place. And not only the living organisms, even the plants also excrete, and in the form of secretion. Some of the plants will secrete the white liquid, and see, these white liquid is secretion is nothing but the excrete. See, it will excrete means nothing but the waste is removed from its body. Plant body is called as excretion. Next one is the, it is one of the life process, and very important. If we not remove the waste in our body, then sometimes we get disease, and some disorders will be takes place in our body, and so that we have to remove the waste from our body. Next we shall move on to the living beings reproduce. See, reproduction is nothing but giving birth to young ones of the same kind is called as reproduction. See, many of the organisms and even the human beings also reproduce of their own kind, giving birth to young ones, that is baby plants. See, like that, you can observe in this picture, like cats will give birth to young ones, that is kitten, and like that, even the human beings also give birth to young ones, and many birds lay eggs in the nest, and so that when they will hatch and give birth to young ones. And see, flowers also, and even the hen also lays egg, and after hatching this this egg will open and chick will be produced, and this is how we can say that all the living organisms will reproduce. See, in the same way, plants also reproduce. See, for example, in the form of a seed, it will fall on the ground and later it will again grow into the new plant. See, thereby we can say that even the plants also reproduce. And see, reproduction is very important process in the living organisms. Without the reproduction, there is no life exist in this earth, and different creatures will be present in this reproduction process. See, reproduction, we can see the different animals reproduce, and even the plants, animals, and human beings also reproduce. So, it is one of the characteristic feature of the living things. Next, we shall move on to the living beings move. As we all know that we move from one place to another place. For example, while walking, we move our legs. Like that, we move one place to another place. In search of the food, in search of many other purposes, we will move. And even the animals also move one place to another place. We can't see the plants where movement will be takes place. But even though in the plants also movement will be takes place. For example, touch me not plants. See, when we touch, it will fold its leaves, and thereby after some times it will again open it, and this is the example of the movement. And see, the birds will move by flying in the air, and some of the flowers will blooms when sunset and sunrise will be takes place. And see, it is one of the characteristic feature of the living things or the living beings. See, non-living things also move with the help of external force or the external energy. If we put on the start, if we put on the switch, we can see the non-living things like fan will rotate its blade. It indicates that by the external force or the external energy, even the non-living things also move. See, compared to the living things, it is one of the nature of the living things, that is, it will move. All the living beings move from one place to another place. See, for example, the animals will move from one place to another place for the favorable climatic condition, for the food purpose, and for many other purposes. They will move from one place to another place. And even the plants also, movement will be takes place, like xylem as well as the phloem, a type of a tissue which carries the water as well as the food from the roots to the throughout the plant body. It will circulate these minerals and nutrient, so that we can say even the plants also movement will be seen. Next one is the, see, this is all about the today's class. See, in today's class we will learn about the characteristic feature of the living things, and how the different types of habitat and different types of living organisms present. And from these examples we can say that by knowing the characteristic feature of these organisms, we can say that living things are those which is having the life, are called as living things, whereas non-living things are those animals or those organisms which doesn't have any life. We call it as a non-living things. See, from today's class we will learn the summary about this chapter, living things and their surroundings. See, we will meet in the next class. Stay home, stay safe, keep learning. Thank you.